Hello, I'm going to be doing the English exercise 2.3, Kidnapped. So the first question says, write down all the details that you can remember in the order that they happened. So first, it was his birthday, and it was at his 18th birthday at 1 a.m. He heard a knock on his, I wrote down door, but I believe it was actually window. He sees that it's his friend. He goes out to meet his friends. Then he gets kidnapped. He gets tied up and thrown in the back of a car. They drive around while he has a blindfold on, and the radio's playing really loud in his ear. They pull to the side of the road and get out, and they get him out. They take him through the woods, walking with the blindfold. And then they finally take the blindfold off, and it reveals a big birthday cake, and they all sing happy birthday and have a good time. Question 2. Listen to the DVD again. While reading the transcript, put circles around any details that you haven't remembered. The only detail I really didn't remember was if it was door or window, and I went back and checked, and it definitely says window. Question 3. Refer to your answer to question 1. Compare your answer to question 1 with the transcript. Check to see if you have maintained the order of events. I did maintain all the order of events, so I did not have to underline anything. What strategies did you use to remember the speaker's message? I used picturing it because he had some very vivid things, like being knocked on the window and being pulled into the car and the radio being right next to his ear. So I used that. I also, again, like I've said in other videos before, I like to read along the transcript while the DVD plays, so I can hear and read at the same time, and that helped me remember. 5. If you did not remember some parts of Kidnapped, determine the parts that were central to the message if they were supporting details. The window, which was the biggest thing that I forgot, it isn't super important, but it's also not necessarily a supporting detail. It's a very small thing. Window versus door could have been very different, which does make the situation a little bit different, but overall it was the same. For my 5-step follow-up, I finished step 1. Step 2, I remembered everything accurately except for the window, so again, I circled that. But I remembered the turn of events. After I've read this transcript for step 3, put parentheses around any additional information, and again, I read the transcript, so I didn't really lose any information. Step 4, assessment. Did your background knowledge help you understand? I didn't really have any background knowledge except for knowing the fact that somebody has an 18th birthday in a window. He also told us in the beginning to imagine ourselves in the situation, and then he took us into the situation. And I think a little bit of that background knowledge helped, because if he wouldn't have told us that he was getting kidnapped, or the story wouldn't have been named Kidnapped, then I probably wouldn't have known what was going to happen to him after he knocked on the after they knocked on the window and he went outside. Step 5, action. Develop a plan for action based on your analysis. Were there many scenes that could be visualized? Like I said earlier, the scene of him knocking and then the radio right next to the ear, a lot of that could be visualized. He did a very good job at finding words and ways to describe his situation that made me remember it pretty well. Would something like this, would it be useful to use a sketch pad? Possibly. I'm not a very good artist, so I wouldn't use a sketch pad. I would probably just write down notes like I usually do, or read the transcript along with it if there is one to help me figure it out better. And that is all. Thank you.